This is Athletes Lives Network exclusive interviews. Today our guest is legendary star basketball player Arthur Pollard, East Chicago, Roosevelt. How you doing, Arthur?
I'm doing fine. Do you?
Doing good. Basically what we're doing on the website, man, is an opportunity for athletes to get to know who you are. You know, you're one of the best players to ever come to East Chicago. We can get a little feedback on, how you got started in basketball, early influences, your playing days in high school and college, anything after that. And also one of the big debates that we have going on is that, who you consider the best players ever to come to East Chicago Central with your starting five. And then the most important one to me is what I'm doing the website for is what kind of advice can you get to athletes who may one day be in your position. So
Okay.
just starting off, just give us a little background of who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm a local East Chicago guy. Basketball player. I wouldn't say star basketball player, but was decent enough to.
Nah, you was awesome. I mean, this come from everybody.
Okay, was decent enough to pave my way through college. Also had a chance to go overseas and play professional basketball as well. Um, College career was awesome. Had a chance to play with a lot of greats. Was on 1988 Final Four team, University of Oklahoma at that time. At that particular year, we went to the Final Four and we lost to Kansas. And at that particular year, I had a couple of good teammates. Had very promising careers in the NBA. One of my teammates was Stacey King, that ended up playing for Chicago Bulls. Uh, Harvey Grant, which was Horace Grant twin brother, he also played for the Bulls, but Harvey ended up playing for the Washington Bullets. And we also had Mookie Blaylock, point guard, which played with me as well, and ended up playing with the Atlanta Hawks. He went to Atlanta Hawks, and point guard by the name of Ricky Grace went to Dallas. And we also had a forward by the name of Dave Siegel, went to Seattle Washington. So I had a chance to play with a couple good players. Started my career off real young. Probably would say I was 5 years old. My sister was kind of encouraging me to play basketball. I'm sure you might have heard of her, Latanya Pollard. We started very young. We started in the alley, as you would say. I can remember my first basketball game. I don't know if you remember years ago, they used to have those barrels where you used to get apples and things in, and we would cut the bottom off the barrel, and we didn't have a pole at the time, so we would nail the barrel up on the telephone pole in the back of the house, and we would go out there and shoot around and play basketball, and all the kids in the neighborhood would come and play, and it kind of escalated from there. We went from that basket to the I don't know if you remember, they used to have those milk crates, those plastic milk crates,
Oh, yeah.
and we cut the bottom out of that, and we end up nailing that on the pole, so which actually gave us a stronger rim at the particular time. But as time passed on, my sister found a love for the game, and she kind of paved the way for me. Me watching her play kind of got me motivated to also involve myself in basketball as well. And kind of escalated. Then what happened was we actually put a pole into the ground. So we actually came up in the alleys. We didn't come up in the gym. We didn't come up playing at the rec center. We actually started playing in the alley behind our house. And ended up putting the rim back there and kind of graduated from there. But my career was pretty promising. I went to Kerry Elementary School locally here. I was kind of blessed, I should say, that from my early career, I've always played with athletes that was a little older than I was. And I wouldn't actually say that I was one of the best players, but I love the game, and the game kind of took me where I kind of wanted to go. Started off, I say 5 years old. My first actual game was when I was in I think at that time, we couldn't play until we was in the 6th grade at that particular time, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I started playing it when I was in the 4th grade. I started playing with 6th graders. So
Wow.
they did allow me to start playing with 6th graders at that particular time because my game, I guess, was decent enough to where. So as you might know, my sister Latanya was one of the greats here, and they at that particular time when she was in high school, they won. I think they won state championship 3 times, but they went to state 4 times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they won her sophomore and senior year.
Sophomore, senior year?
Yes.
Okay. So no, I thought they won 2 years. No, it was only 2 years or 3
2
years they
years.
won. Okay, but they went all 4 years.
Yeah, yeah.
They went all 4
They
years.
lost,
they
yeah,
won 2 years.
lost,
Okay.
yeah, they lost
Okay.
76. Yeah, 78,
Okay,
yeah.
so she kind of paved the way, and at that particular time, the name was already a household name because of Latanya, because of her promising career and the things that she did for East Chicago Roosevelt at that time. So elementary school was great, had a pretty good career there. And then here in Indiana, where most schools that we have a junior high school here, and then you have most states that the junior high is kind of combined with their high school. So we had a separate, ours was, which was called middle school, and then you had high school. So I went to my middle school, which was Westside Junior High School, and my 7th grade year I ended up playing with 8th graders. So I didn't play 7th grade basketball, I ended up playing 8th graders, and then kind of went on to high school. And my freshman year I ended up playing varsity basketball. But I had a pretty good career, and actually got a scholarship. I ended up playing for the University of Oklahoma, but when I left high school, I didn't sign with the University of Oklahoma. I signed with the University of Illinois State.
Gotcha.
4 year scholarship. Went there for a semester, and didn't like it. I didn't like it. Wasn't pleased there. So what I did was I transferred, and most of the time when you transfer, you have to sit out a year. So to keep from sitting out a year, I went to junior college for 1 year. I went to Dodge City Community College in Kansas, and actually played there a year. I went there and played there a year. Had a pretty good year there. I was All-American there. I was All-City, All-Region. We went to the championship game. We lost to Hutchinson, and then from Dodge City, I went on to play for the University of Oklahoma, and I would say that would probably have been my best career as far as basketball. University of Oklahoma came and recruited me from junior college. Went there. My junior year in 1988, I was on the Oklahoma at that particular year. And everybody know Oklahoma used to be a football school.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you remember Wayman Tisdale, but at the time Wayman Tisdale came there, Oklahoma also had a player by the name of Tim McAllister from Gary Westside. They played, I want to say, was it 80? It might have been 82 or 80 that they came in, and what happened was those guys had built a team, and they kind of turned the University of Oklahoma not only a football school, but people started recognizing them as a basketball school too as well. Always was a tough conference because of the Big 8 conference, which you had Kansas, Missouri, which are good teams nowadays. If you look at those teams nowadays, they're good now. And you had Colorado, you had Kansas State, and that particular year, 1988, we went to the Final Four. That year we went 35-4 that year. That year we lost the Final Four against Kansas, which that year Kansas had Danny Manning. I don't know if you remember him, but he was great too.
Yeah.
Danny Manning was also a great too. And what I would say for any young athlete that's looking to make a career out of any sports is, love the game. Kind of take the game at heart, because a lot of times the game will pave a way for you. It did it for me. Again, I didn't have a chance to go to the NBA, but I had a chance to go overseas. Went over there and visited. And the reason why I kind of had a chance to go to the Continental League overseas was due to the fact that my sister had kind of played over in Italy for over 10 years. At that particular time, they didn't have the WNBA here in the United States, so all the great women basketball players had to go overseas in order to play. LaTanya, kind of her era, she kind of came in ahead of time in her era. During that era, she played with Cheryl Miller, the Cooper girls, and so at that particular time they didn't have the WNBA. She was overseas for several years, and I guess they knew of my career here at Oklahoma, and had a chance to go over there and visit. But at that particular time, I didn't. I guess I should say I guess I didn't take it at heart, well, I shouldn't say that. I didn't pursue my career overseas. But for any kid that's looking to make it in life as far as sports, I would actually say just kind of take it at heart, believe in what you do, and the most important thing is, man, you have to work hard. I mean, really work hard, because during the time when I left here, I felt that I was a good player, but what I learned throughout my college career is that there's good players in other cities and other states, and then you meet up with these other guys and you think you good, and you find out. And the reason why I say that is because I'd never heard of Mookie Blaylock. Didn't even know that he was as good as he was. And when I ended up signing with Oklahoma at that particular time, he had come from a junior college too as well in Texas, which was called Garland Community College. And we kind of came in and signed together. And man, this guy came in and his game was like awesome. So where I actually came in and thought I was going to be the starter there as far as the two guard, I ended up having to play behind him. But I would say, Final Four was great. I mean, that was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it in for the world. Had a chance to have a couple championship rings. Had a chance to play with some greats. And until this day now, the relationship I built with my teammates, we still stay in contact. I touch base with Stacy all the time. Just went back a couple of years ago. We had a 20-year reunion and invited us all back to school. And, it's been a great career and again, I would say for any athlete just looking to play basketball, even if you don't make it to the NBA, the Final Four is one of the greatest experiences I ever experienced in the world. I mean, that was an experience that you will always carry you the rest of your life. I still cherish those moments. As you can see in my office here, I still have some of the pictures here. And, I look at those pictures, even though my legs are like they used to be, I look at those pictures and kind of remind me of, just the moments and the experience I had. So, but my career, for the most part, has been good.
Hold on, cut you off 1 second.